This is the small hand vise I bought on Wednesday. It's actually got a little V-spring in there, same sort of spring they use on shotgun actions. Quite a handy little tool. That's the one I bought a few weeks ago. You can see it's a lot larger, but it's basically the same idea. They're handy for clamping things when you're welding, or holding things when you're grinding them. Keeps your fingers out of the grinding wheels. Also bought a set of taps, 1/2 inch BSF. I haven't done much work. BSF's, it's an old thread, but it's still a good thread to use. I've got BSF dies as well. Occasionally I do use BSF. Often on old machines you find a lot of the threads are BSF or Whitworth, and you need these taps. There's another scraper. This one's a more than right. It's very similar to the handmade one I showed last week. This is that big adjustable spanner I bought 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've had it to work, I've had it soaked in battery acid, and I've managed to get it all freed off, a little bit of heat. It's working, but there's a lot of wear on that worm. The worm's badly worn. I've got somebody in mind for this spanner. I want to give it to them as a present, so I think what I'll do is I might make a new worm up for that. Be quite an interesting project, getting that apart and machining a new worm. This is cleaned up with a wire brush. It'll come up quite nice. Like I say, I've got somebody in mind for it, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it. And the person I've got in mind owns a steam wagon. Right, this is a 10mm drill. This is a cobalt drill. Right, this drill is 15/64, which is the drill I'm going to use for to ream it to. I'm going to use a table to feed this time at a much slower speed, just in case it grabs. So mustn't forget this is stainless, not. Sangaloo, when it gets warm, goes nice and thin. Right, that's it through. Right, that's my 1/2 inch reamer, 1 most taper, so that goes into a 1 to 2 adapter, a 2 to 3 adapter, and that goes into a most 3 to R8 adapter. This is where having the riser block in the middle really pays off. Right. So now we've got 2 perfectly sized 1/2 inch holes. I've bolted the washer on each side just to give us a line to grind to. That's the bottom part that'll be welded. It wants curving around there like that, and then tapering down like a teardrop shape. I'll use a cutting disc to get it roughly to shape. 4.5 inch grinder with a 1mm slitting disc on. is the ideal tool for cutting that. That really is a useful tool. Trouble is, it's a little bit like a crocodile. It's not fussy what it eats. It'll eat your hand, it'll cut your fingers. So it pays to wear gloves, but the most important thing of all, safety goggles, got to wear them. You've also got to be careful where the sparks are going. It's quite easy to set things on fire with them. You never use a cutting disc for grinding. You always put a grinding or a polishing disc on. I like these flexible ones. I've got all the bits cleaned up now. I've got them set up ready to weld. All I want to do is put 4 tacks on. I'll just tack the 4 corners, decent tacks. Then I'll show you how I want to weld them to try and stop them from bending, because this plate will bend when it's welded. This is what I'm going to weld it with. It's an Artec 260 AC/DC welder. It's a welder I've got a lend off from Artec. I'm doing a review. It's also equipped with a water cooler, which means I can use a nice lightweight torch. Even on full power I can still use a lightweight torch. We've got a lined up there because we will be able to once we're going to tack on the other end. Good. So I've tacked them in 4 places, and that bit of bar through has made sure that those are held vertical. If I was to run weld down there, turn it over and run weld down there, without a doubt that plate will curve up over like that. I know it will because I tried on that one, and you can see it bent it. So what I'm going to do, I'll bolt them both back together, like that, then weld it, which means it's going to have to bend both bits of plate, and I don't think that'll happen. I should be able to bolt them together, run a nice little fillet weld down there, and I think we'll be alright. Right, so I've bolted them back together, which means I can weld that side, if it does pull that way, when I weld that side and that side, it should bring it back into shape. I don't think it'll bend that's half an inch thick now. I'm mounting the vise and with a nice for the TIG weld down there. Very happy with that, welded nicely. Still nice and square, it hasn't distorted in any way, so that's holding the two plates together. I've kept them flat. As far as projects go and video projects, I've been thinking about making a small oscillating steam engine, and not that small. It'll probably be 1.5 inch stroke, 3/4 inch bore, decent size one. I'll do patterns, I'll do castings, and I'll build a one. Possibly, if there's enough interest, I might even cast a few more and sell the castings or sell kits. We'll see how it goes. But it's certainly one or two people have asked us if I would do like a series on building a small engine, which will be interesting because there's a lot of lathe work, a lot of mill work, but it will be small enough so it can be done on a hobby type machine. Anyway, we'll see what sort of interest it generates, and you see, hopefully there could be casting kits available. We'll just have to wait and see.
diesel hydraulic.
You wouldn't.
Is it good?
Once again, thanks for all the support, all the kind words and well wishes, especially towards Deb, my wife. Thanks very much.